Lesson 7.4 is about writing equations. Take out these notes that you just copied. In the very first lesson that we did, I brought up the notes for lesson 1.1, writing expressions. Remember when we did this?
No.
About 5 months ago. I didn't think you would. So that's why I brought up these notes again. 9 more than y. Y plus 9, right? Or less than a number n. N minus 4. A number times 3. 3n. A number divided by 12.
Not n divided
N divided by 12. 4 more than twice a number.
2n plus 4.
Alright, so we've been working on these expressions in various ways, looking at these expressions. Well, the only difference in what we're doing today is that we're going to put a number here. Okay? We're going to put a number on the other side and then solve for n. Let's take a look back at what we're doing now. Writing an equation just means that we're trying to figure out, instead of just one side, the one side will equal the other side. Okay? So that's why it says to find the equation, you're finding what each side equals. What equals what? Look at this example. Bill purchased 4 pens for $3.32, including 16 cents for sales tax. Write an equation for the cost of 1 pen. So, we're given the cost of 4 pens, which includes 16 cents for sales tax. The first thing we need to do is write down a variable. We're going to find 1 pen. We don't know how much the pen costs, but let's say that, let's use P for pens. Cost of the pen. And then we know that the total, $3.32, is equal to what?
4 pens.
4 pens. And what? And sales tax. Right. How do we account for the sales tax on this side? Do we multiply it? Do we add it?
Divide 16 divided by 4.
We have to add it to this side, right? Because the 332 includes sales tax. Okay? So the 4 pens plus sales tax equals 332, right? But instead of pens, we're just going to write P. All right? So 4P plus 16 cents equals $3.32. We have an equation here, right? And it's an equation that you now know how to solve. How do you solve this? Penny?
Add negative 12.16 to each side.
Yep, add negative 16 cents.
And then
What do we have left on this side? 4P equals what?
3.
million $3.16.
$3.16.
And then you divide each side in four.
And so the cost of 1 pen is
It's 79 cents. It was 99 cents.
Wow, that's so expensive. I come.
all right. And make sure you label it. Now, one of the most important parts of this is defining a variable. Okay? Defining a variable. Let's look at one in your book on page 366. Open your books to page 366. This one says, a moving van rents for $29.95 per day plus 12 cents per mile. Okay? Now, Miss Smith's bill for a 2-day rental was $70.46. How many miles did she drive? Okay. Moving van rents for $29.95 per day. So what we have to do is we have to write down some information from the problem. Write the information from the problem. Okay? What can we write down? Noah?
What? Oh, we can write down $29.95 a day.
Okay. $29.95 per day. And how many days did she rent?
2 days.
For 2 days. So what can we do for to mean 2 days? 2D, but since we know that it's 2 of these, to write this as an expression, we can write it as 2 times 29.95, right? So times 2. What else is given in the information? What other information is given?
12 cents per mile.
12 cents per mile. Now, we're not given how many miles they're driving, right? So this is what we are looking for. Is miles. What letter can we use for miles? When we're defining our variable, since this is what we're looking for, we're going to use M for miles. Okay? Now, if she went 1 day, or 1 mile, it would be 12 cents. 2 miles, 24 cents. 3 miles, 36 cents. What operation is that? If it's repeated addition, it's also the number of miles times 12 cents, right? So, what expression can we write for this then? What expression can we write?
Maybe $0.12. But and then M.
Yep. 12 cents per mile. Okay? And anytime you see that per word or the slash, it means the 2 things multiplied. Okay? Now, let's write an equation. In other words, we'll have 2 sides. One side equals the other side. what else are we missing here? On this side, we've got 12 cents per mile. What else? What other information did we already write down? Look, Chase, read that.
49.95 per day times 2.
Times 2, right? Because she rented for 2 days. So we can write that. Are we going to multiply that times this?
Yeah.
Or are we going to add it?
We're gonna add it.
We need to add it. Plus,
59.90.
okay, 29.95 times 2, right?
Which would be
For the 2
59.90.
days, which would be 59.90. Okay. And what is that? What does all of this equal?
$70.46.
Yeah, they give that 46 cents.
Yep.
They give that to us, don't they? In the problem, it says the bill was $70.46. So all of this equals $70.46, right? It's exactly what we have here. Okay? Now, let's simplify this. We already said that this expression equals, say that again?
$59.90.
$59.90 plus 0.12 m. Now, solve it. How do we solve it?
She puts the fraction things when you do 0.212, and then you do it on 59.9.
Divide this by, well, don't we have to divide on one side and then on the other side? Okay. So, we have to get the m by itself. How do we get the m by itself? Michael?
You divide by 0.5.
Well, what about this? If we just divide,
No.
what do we have to do?
Add negative 59.
Yeah, we have to add negative 59. We have to add and get rid of this 59.90 first on this side. And add the negative 59.90 on this side. Keep it balanced. Then what? Now we have the 0.12 m by itself. And that equals what? It says in your book, 1056. Okay? Now what? Keyshawn, multiply by the reciprocal. Since this is a decimal, we can show that by, what does that do? What are we doing here?
Get the on the bottom.
You mean divide by?
Yes.
Yep.
And then you do the same thing to the other side.
Right. Cross this off and do the same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
Now you can use your calculator. And find m. What do we get?
88.
88 miles. Yeah.
Boy.
Okay. Yes.
Why would you have to put 88 with the miles label if m equals miles?
Because when you're writing your answer, you have to go back and label it. All right? This is a solution to the equation, But it's not an answer until it has a meaning. It has a label.
It does, because like
Okay.
it's like saying miles equals 88 miles. You don't use it.
No,
88 miles. Yep.
M equals mile.
M is representing. No, they're not. Only M is representing.
Now, from page 368, you're going to do some of these practice problems. And follow this procedure.